Well, moving on, South Korea's Constitutional Court unanimously upheld the impeachment of President Yoon Suk Yeol, removing him from office. The historic decision comes after Yoon's attempt to impose martial law in December. The Constitutional Court ruled out Yoon's declaration of martial law on 3rd December last year, which violated the country's constitution as it obstructed the National Assembly's authority. The court, in its ruling, said that Yoon did not merely declare martial law, but went on to commit acts that violated the constitution and the law, including mobilizing military and police forces to obstruct the National Assembly's exercise of its authority.
The benefit gained by dismissing the respondent overwhelmingly outweighs the national losses resulting from the president's impeachment. Therefore, I issue the ruling with a unanimous opinion. Because this is an impeachment case, I will confirm the time of the verdict. It is 11:22 a.m. order. Respondent President Yoon Suk Yeol is impeached.
The landmark decision comes after Yoon's attempt to impose martial law on 3rd December, which was met with widespread protests as armed soldiers were deployed to parliament. In addition to his suspension, Yoon also faces insurrection charges in a separate criminal case. He was arrested on January 15th, but later released in March after a court cancelled his arrest warrant, citing concerns over the investigation's procedural legitimacy. Well, in a short statement, Yoon Suk Yeol apologized after the court announced a unanimous verdict, expressing his regret and heartbreak for failing to meet expectations. Meanwhile, authorities in South Korea have heightened security measures, with the police raising their alert level to the highest possible, as pro- and anti-Yoon protesters descended on Seoul, gathering near the court and the impeached leader's residence in large numbers. And now for the latest updates on this story, we are being joined by Laura Westbrook from Hong Kong. Thanks for joining us, Laura. And let me start by asking that South Korea's Constitutional Court has officially removed President Yoon from office. And I think the question on everybody's mind now is this the end of the months of political uncertainty?
Yeah, that's right. This was a critical moment in South Korea. It ended weeks of speculation, a lot of tension there, with people wondering which way this was going to go. This tension has now been broken when, as you mentioned there, the Chief Justice saying that Yoon Suk Yeol had gone beyond his powers as president and acted unconstitutionally with this unanimous vote. And when that verdict was handed down, there were cheers from anti-Yoon protesters, but then there were also tears from his supporters. And this really shows the deep divisions in Korean society, especially right now, since that shock announcement by Yoon Suk Yeol in December announcing martial law, but he later backed down after it was voted down by lawmakers. But we really have seen since then these protests on both sides, and it's really exposed the divisions in society. Some believing Yoon's claims that the country was in crisis, but the majority looking at it as an opportunistic grab for power. Now, since then, Yoon has been holed up in his presidential palace. He's been fairly defiant, but we have heard this statement where he's said he was truly sorry. And of course, now there will be elections within 60 days.
Right, Laura. And another question that demands to be answered is, well, what's next for South Korea?
Well, as I said, there will be elections within the next 60 days. For Yoon himself, the story isn't over as well. He faces a separate charge of insurrection. That is a criminal charge, and he faces either life in prison or even the death penalty. For the country itself, it is now heading into an election. And I've been looking at some polls. According to a poll, the ruling People's power party. Its approval rating is at around 35%. The opposition leader, Lee Jae-myung, is the front runner. He's got about 34% of support, and his Democratic Party has an approval rating of around 41%. Now, while this Constitutional Court's verdict is final, it may not be the end of the political instability in South Korea. Now they head into campaign mode, with both sides going to be choosing their front runners and campaigning. And that really will perhaps continue some of the divisions that we've seen. And of course, for the next leader of South Korea, it will be up to them to see whether they can heal those divisions and which candidate will be the one to do so. They will also have to contend with a tariff war implemented by Donald Trump. He has made this announcement of 25% tariffs, and the next leader will be also looking to see if they can get a summit and do a deal with Donald Trump.
Right, now with the backdrop of all this global commotion, we'll have to wait and see how the situation develops. But for now, thank you so much, Laura, for joining us on WION World is One.